Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein. We have draft grades for you. The Mavericks obviously only made one selection, and it was Cooper Flagg, the wing out of Duke, with the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. We're going to break down everything Cooper Flagg brings to the table as the newest member of the Dallas Mavericks. But before we do that, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Our coverage does not stop here. The Mavericks are going to sign a boatload of UDFAs to take to the Las Vegas Summer League, and we will have you covered with that, including all of the latest free agency news and rumors surrounding the Dallas Mavericks. So stay locked in, hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. Cooper Flagg, obviously, if you haven't heard already, is the newest member of the Dallas Mavericks, the 6'7" freshman out of Duke, the National Player of the Year. Mike Krzyzewski called him the best Duke freshman of all time. At 30 minutes a game for Duke last season, he averaged 19 points, 7.5 rebounds, shot 48% from the field, 38.5% from three as well, including a block and a half and a steal and a half per game. Cooper Flagg lit up the stat sheet, and he was also the best player in the country. The scouting report on Cooper Flagg: he is a day one difference maker defensively and has the upside to guard every single position. As of right now, I think Cooper Flagg is going to slide into the two guard position for the Mavericks. According to Nico Harrison, he's going to play alongside P.J. Washington and Anthony Davis, and that's going to make for a super athletic and versatile front court there for the Mavericks, especially on that defensive end. On the offensive end, he can finish super strong through contact and already has the feel to use his size and hunt mismatches, has a really good basketball IQ, has to work on his handle a little bit as well, his late game execution, and his shot form. Even though his shot form worked for him, that simply could be improved. The consensus number 1 overall player in this draft was Cooper Flagg. Guy has a 7-foot wingspan, a 35.5-inch vertical. You can see the shooting numbers there as well. The Mavericks are getting the whole package when it comes to Cooper Flagg. He's a guy who he was the best offensive and defensive player in this draft, according to Kevin O'Connor of Yahoo Sports. And I think the Mavericks are getting a truly special player in Cooper Flagg. And he's one of the Mavericks' 2 or 3 best players the second he steps on the court for them, especially with Kyrie Irving out. You're going to have Anthony Davis. You're going to have pretty much Cooper Flagg is probably your number 2. And then you'll have the likes of Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington, Klay Thompson, and the like to put around them. But I think Flagg is going to have a lot of responsibility for the Mavericks right away. Jason Kidd's going to want to play him at point forward and let him handle the ball, let him initiate the offense, let him make mistakes, and let him have growing pains in his rookie season here with the Mavericks. And he didn't do a bunch of that at Duke, but Kidd believes in Flagg to be able to handle the ball and be able to have the basketball IQ and the wherewithal to grow in the game and be able to see the court differently than others do. Jason Kidd, one of the highest IQ basketball players there's ever been. He's coached a lot of high IQ basketball players in the likes of Giannis and in Luka, and he sees Cooper Flagg in that same vein. And that's an absolutely special thing to see if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan. The full scouting report from Kevin O'Connor on Yahoo Sports is as follows. He hustles like a madman, makes his teammates better as a passer, and as a dialed in knockdown jumper. He's both the best offensive and defensive prospect in this class. His growth as a shot creator will decide if he reaches his all-star floor or soars to his Hall of Fame ceiling. Look, when your floor is as an all-star, you have a pretty damn high floor, man. And if his ceiling is Hall of Fame, the Mavericks are getting a very special player. I know I've said this repeatedly over the last few days or so. It is just extremely rare for a team to go from Dirk Nowitzki to Luka Doncic to Cooper Flagg, to go from 3 straight generational players. The Mavericks should consider themselves lucky that the 1.8% chance fell into their favor, and they were able to select Cooper Flagg with the number 1 overall pick. So grade the pick for me of Cooper Flagg down in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give you guys my grade here in just a moment. But while you guys are giving your grade of Cooper Flagg, the number 1 overall pick, to your Dallas Mavericks, go get yourself hooked up with our friends over at Fanatics today. It's chatsports.com/MavsDraft. Cooper Flagg wore these hats. He wore the white one with the blue rim, that one right there, when he walked across the stage and shook Adam Silver's hand. These are super sick, and the best part about them is They don't actually say draft anywhere on the hat, so you can wear these year-round, and you don't look weird if you show up to the American Airlines Center wearing this hat. And another benefit is if you go to this link right here, chatsports.com/MavsDraft, Fanatics will send us a part of the proceeds as well. So you're helping the channel while also getting yourself a dope hat. That link will be in the comments and the description of today's show. Shout out to Fanatics for sponsoring this episode of Mavericks Today. I'd be remiss if I gave anything other than an A+ for the Cooper Flagg pick. It was the easiest pick to make in the NBA draft. There was no question of who the Mavericks were selecting the second they won the NBA lottery. Cooper Flagg was the consensus number one pick from the time he was in high school to when he reclassified and went a year early. He should have been walking across the stage in high school, not shaking Adam Silver's hand yesterday like he did for the Dallas Mavericks. Look, it's an extremely exciting time to be a Mavericks fan, and we really couldn't say that a couple of months ago when this future of this organization looked extremely bleak, but they got extremely lucky. They were able to win that lottery and draft Cooper Flagg. It's an A+, no doubter for me. But Cooper Flagg was the only pick that the Mavericks made here in the draft, but it is not the only grade I'm going to give out here for the draft. Nico Harrison strikes again. This guy, he triggers me every time I see him. And his press conference last night just brought back all of the emotions and exactly why no Mavericks fan likes him or wants to support him. He makes it impossible to like him. He had a couple of lines. I'll go number one, the line that annoyed me. And there's about 4 of them, so we'll start with number 1, where he said, it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to have a generational talent. You actually had a generational talent on your team for 6.5 years, and then you took him away from us in the middle of the night, Nico. So, yeah, Cooper Flagg is great. I do think he is a generational talent. He is not the only generational talent that this Mavericks franchise has seen. He is not a once-in-a-lifetime player because the Mavericks have had a player of his caliber on this team while you have been the general manager of the team. And then, this one annoyed me as well. He said, fortune favors the bold. He is trying to take credit for winning the NBA draft lottery. What kind of psychopath do you have to be to think it is your doing that won the Mavericks the draft lottery? You have to be absolutely insane to think that. Number 3, and this is the final one we'll get to because I just can't stand talking about this guy anymore. This guy, well, I'll get to this first. He asked P.J. Washington if he could play alongside Cooper Flagg, and Washington actually said yes. Well, P.J. doesn't really have a choice because it's either that or he would have gotten traded, and P.J. wants to stay at Dallas. So you'll see Cooper Flagg at the 2 alongside P.J. Washington at the 3. But the final thing that I wanted to get to that annoyed me about the Nico Harrison press conference was he was asked if he thinks that some of the public backlash and vitriol towards him will subside. And he said, I hope so. I'm assuming so. Why would you assume that? What did you do? You did nothing. The ping pong balls did all the work. All you had to do was make the easiest decision in the world. Oh, if we go back a few months ago, you said the easiest thing to do is nothing. Well, congratulations, Nico. You did the easiest thing, and the Mavericks got the best player in the draft. If you would have had a repeat, the Mavericks would have had Ace Bailey on their team. But guess what? He's going to rot away in Utah. You did nothing to get Cooper Flagg on the Mavericks. I want to make sure that is abundantly clear. And your grade for the draft, and just because of that embarrassment of a 10-minute press conference, it's an F. It's an F minus. Thank you, Reed. Should the Mavs fire Nico Harrison? Type F for fire or type K for keep. You guys are going to be shocked by this answer. The answer is keep, and I'll tell you why. He should have to live with the circumstances of all of his decisions. He should not get off easy. If this thing works, you know what? Congratulations. You'd made a ridiculous move and it worked out for you. If it doesn't work, you should have to reap what you sow. So I hope he stays. I want him to stay for the length of his contract and see this thing out for better or worse. Should the Mavs fire Nico Harrison, let me know down there in the comment section. I'm sorry I got all worked up. I had to get that off my chest. It was bothering me all day. If the Mavericks didn't make a pick tonight, so I couldn't get a pick VOD for you guys, but good God. Even when things are going right, The guy just embarrasses himself even more and just triggers everybody in this fan base. If you don't like that I don't like Nico Harrison, go find another channel. But that's why you subscribe, because I'm going to give it to you real. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's ugly. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. We'll have coverage of the Cooper Flagg press conference tomorrow as well. So we'll have takeaways from that. Jason Kidd and Nico alongside Cooper Flagg are expected to be there. So all major takeaways from that will be on the channel tomorrow. If the Mavs sign any undrafted free agents, we will let you know that as well. And we'll let you know if this Cooper Flagg will be playing in the Summer League. I believe he will. The first game of the Summer League slated to be Mavs versus Lakers. So it's going to be Cooper Flagg versus Bronny James. That ought to be fun. So hit that subscribe button. Bunch of content coming up here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see you guys later.